Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, Veronica. What was that? Are you okay?
Wow.
You good?
Welcome. I'm good.
You good?
I'm just ready. Ready for
Ready?
this intro.
Because this is episode 100? We've done 100 episodes now? Are we doing anything special? We're talking about something, so we'll just get to that. But don't worry, because it's episode 100 of the NgoVo Convo podcast, where two stupids make a hype.
Right.
That's
We're
right.
the two stupids.
We're the... Oh. You're right, though. Because I'm one of your hosts, Harrison O, and I'm joined by Veronica Vo. She's to my...
right here.
I don't know directions. It's fine. It's been
I'm to
100
his right.
episodes. I still don't.
To his right.
Yes.
He's to my left.
Yes.
Check on YouTube.
Yeah.
Subscribe
But-
while you're at it.
Chill. Because if you're new here, we just want an excuse to talk about anything that ranges from animated comics. But really, it's just
Yes.
an excuse to get through our backlog because
Yes.
it's a lot.
It is a lot. But we're catching up.
We're catching up.
Yeah.
We're caught up, but we chipped by one today.
Yes.
But also, Veronica, on this podcast, some would say we're
Yes.
just two people
Okay.
conversing.
Wow. Like NgoVo Convo and NgoVo Convo. Logos above Harrison's head.
Right over there.
Yeah.
I got you. Don't worry.
Yes.
And you can watch every episode on youtube.com. I guess you're watching it here. Or listen to it as a podcast by searching up NgoVo Convo and NgoVo Convo on your podcast service of choice.
10 pluses.
All plus 10.
Every episode we're like 10 pluses. Plus 10.
I can do math.
Yeah. Yeah,
Trust.
we can. Yeah.
But Veronica, in this episode,
What are we
we're
going to
going
be
to
talking about?
we're going to be talking about Mandalorian season 3.
Oh my goodness.
But if you haven't watched it, give this video a like just to give, save it somewhere. Or you can save it. You could save it to watch later, but let's be real. I like it, so I could save it for later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it really helps us out. Trust.
Yeah.
But if you haven't watched it, it's on Disney Plus. There are 8 episodes. They range from like 40 to
40-ish
40 on average. They're like 45 or so. But
And
they'll
then
say
knowing
like 50.
Disney,
Yeah.
it's 15 minutes of credits.
Yes. Yeah. So don't be tricked, because it tricked me.
It did.
It did. But yeah, give that a watch. I watched it like, I think we both binged it, so it took about a
day and a half, I think.
About a day and a half, yeah, roughly. I stayed up a little bit longer, so I did take about a day. Yeah. But before we get into the nitty gritty, we'll talk about our non-spoiler thoughts on how this season went and if we recommend it or not. Veronica, go.
I was here for Daddy Pedro. AKA Daddy Lorian.
Daddy Lori. Nice.
Yes. No, I thought it was a good season. I just felt like it dropped in like plot wise. It wasn't really there for me. I could see where they were going, but personally, season 3 for me, I just watched it for Grogu. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
would I recommend it? I'm not too sure. That's how I feel. I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Feel
I'm on the
that.
fence. I'm on the fence about recommending this, but I also want people to watch it for Grogu. That's how I feel.
That's how you feel.
Honestly,
Got it.
Yeah, that's honestly how I feel.
And I guess, spoiler alert, if you haven't, I would like to believe that if you're watching this episode, you've watched season 1 and 2, and you're also aware you have to watch Boba Fett, mainly
Yep.
for the last 2 episodes,
Yep.
which I think this season, in my opinion, was okay. I thought it was good. I think it had so much potential. And I
It
think,
did.
And if anything, it is probably bridging to the upcoming plot for anything else. It is probably trying to be like that springboard for anything else. Right?
Yeah.
And I think, so plot-wise, I think it was really meh. But I think the moments were like kind of cool, but not as satisfying. I think the first 2 seasons are much better than this. There's so much more, it felt more cohesive. And I think this season was just kind of more of a it felt like they just did it just because people want more Mando. People want more
No,
like all
people
this
wanted
stuff.
more Grogu and Mando and Pedro, which
And
I guess is fine.
I will get into in the
But you know,
spoiler section. I will get into what I really don't like.
yeah, we probably will agree on
Yeah.
most.
But I think overall it was like okay. I felt really scattered plot wise. It felt like it because I think the best way for me to explain it non-spoiler wise is the first two felt like a legit like Western cowboy stuff. While in here,
Which was Boba Fett. Which was Boba Fett.
Yes.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah.
But this one just kind of felt like Mando was just there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we'll get into details in a bit. But over, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I recommend this either.
See, we're both in the I don't know boat.
I know I'm leaning more towards no, but unfortunately, I don't think you can say that because I feel like there's gonna be a new season, and we also don't know if Ahsoka will
tie in.
Yeah, we'll tie in as much.
Yeah,
and it may. Who knows? Who knows? Mando may make a cameo in that one. So.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
We'll see
where Pedro wants to go.
But overall, I think this was like okay. It wasn't. It was definitely a dip in quality compared to season 1 and 2.
No,
but it also has been years. Like this season was delayed, right?
Yeah, by like 2 years because of COVID.
Because at one point we even thought it was canceled. I think.
Yeah, but then Boba Fett came out, and then like the last 2 episodes dropped it for Boba Fett, and I was like, oh. We are getting something.
So we're getting more.
Yeah. We're getting
because
more, yeah.
At the end of Boba Fett, it was like Mando will return in season 3, I think, or something. It did that whole like, typical like
someone
Mando will
return.
Someone will return. So
no, but I also think it's because Pedro was filming The Last of Us, and that took most of the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Of his parts. I think that's why.
Yeah. Because in this one, in comparison, he didn't have to do as much as like Last of Us. I think I haven't seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
But yeah, so I'm sure there's a lot of reasons why the plot itself kept changing. Things kept not adding up, but we'll get into it soon. If you got anything else to add,
I got nothing else. Let's get into the nitty gritty.
Let's just talk about spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Spoilers.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Veronica, I'm gonna kind of break this up in a lot of spots because I think these are spots that are the weak points of the show.
Yeah.
But before we even get to that, did you have anything because I'm just curious, was there besides Grogu? Because I know
besides Grogu.
Is there anything else you like about the show that popped out?
I love those little like. What was it? Grogu was like grabbing the little
The sirens are on my end if you hear. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what they're called.
I don't know. I forgot.
They're always mechanics. Yeah.
Yeah. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, bad baby. And then they were like, no squeezy. That was probably like one of my
bad baby.
No, yeah. It was good.
No.
They were my favorite, and I think honestly the last half was really good to me. Like the last 3 episodes, they were super good.
And I think that was the typical like this was the typical Disney formula where first 2 were relatively strong, middle part was kind of like, and then the last few episodes were like, here's the action, here's the
all the
penultimate
good stuff.
Act 3 is happening. Cool.
Yeah.
That's
all I had.
Okay, so I really feel like this season was less Mando and more Bo-Katan.
Yes.
And it was fun. It was cool seeing her in season, I think 2.
It was 2.
2, right? Because Boba Fett was season 1, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It's been a while and I don't remember.
Boba Fett was only 1 season. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean, Boba Fett made a cameo.
In
Mando's season 2? Because he helped?
Because he helped out. It was 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what it was. It was 2. You're right. Or wrong. Let us know in the comments. It's been so long.
It has.
But no, in this one, it really felt like I'm not. It's that weird thing of I think they probably wanted to do a Bo-Katan like show with
Yeah.
the amount and give her the arc and all this stuff.
Because it was the same actor that does the voices in the animated series, so it's like continuous.
Yeah,
in that aspect.
and she did really good. I think she did really good because she is a big part in the whole Mandalorian
like the lore and
the issues that
and the issues.
has,
Yeah, their
she,
stories.
She was in Clone Wars. She's
in Bad Batch too. I think I haven't watched it, but I think she's in a little bit in Bad Batch. I think
it's been a while. I haven't kept up. Yeah, no, but they gave her a lot, and then there's a lot of stuff with. I think my biggest gripe is the whole Mandalorian culture. The Mando culture was just kind of like,
you can't take your helmet off.
well, that's fine. I wish they got into more of the whole like the sex and like the different groups and stuff. Mm-hmm. But all the big
some
points,
are like military-esque, and then others were like pirates, and then you had some that were just like trying to survive.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of sectors of like Mandalorians.
And that gets touched on, or the whole issue is Mandalorians are like known as like a warriors, like not cult, but you know, like their whole thing was like all about being prideful about fighting and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what parts I want to touch on because I think this is what made the season weak. Yeah, I think everything is just wishy-washy, and they just Bo-Katan I think was handled as like the forefront, and Mando just felt like it's the Mandalorian, but it focused on the Mandalorians.
Yes.
Which I think is fine and all that, because eventually it was going to happen. Because they started
had to go do the backstory eventually.
Yeah. But yeah, Bo-Katan I think was weird. So with that, we'll jump into the Darksaber and the Mythosaur.
Yes, which is what I was really interested in.
Yeah. Which is unfortunately doesn't mean shit in this.
No, not in this season.
No. How did you feel with the? Because I know Bo-Katan kept focusing on the Darksaber. If I don't have it, no one will follow me. All this stuff. And how'd you feel
if
when
I don't
they
have
just
the power?
Yeah. How can I unite the people without this?
Yeah.
Right. How'd you feel how they dealt with it by like throughout and then at the end?
It was very anticlimactic how he just gave her the saber.
Yeah.
I am not going to lie. I thought they were going to have to fight for it because originally Bo-Katan was fighting that other guy. Mm-hmm. Just because like he was like, oh, I'm the leader of the military like Mandalorians, like we will never follow you, yada yada yada. So they got into a fight.
They did the whole one-on-one fight.
One-on-one, yeah, and that was like a good 10 minutes. And then afterwards, she won, and then the Mandalorian, he was just like, oh, I have it. Here you go. I literally had to pause and be like, what happened to the plot?
No, they literally just did a technicality, and they put it in. They had to say like, "Oh, by technicality, I was defeated by a robot alien."
And then she saved me.
She saved me.
Yeah.
So technically, does that not mean she? I'm just holding it for her.
Yeah.
It is technically hers now.
It was BS. It was a cop out.
I thought they were gonna fight.
Me too. Me too.
But they spent so much time with the fight prior that they couldn't do it.
Oh man, I was upset. I was very upset. This was episode, I think, like
4 or 5. No,
6, 7.
Because because like the essentially the detective episode was like 6 or 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that one because I know you wanted to talk about that one.
Yes. No, but I was very upset about the whole black saber.
And then the Darksaber at the end got crushed.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of.
I'm
pretty sure it's the sake of. Bo-Katan doesn't need it because she could be a good leader without this Darksaber. So this is just a crutch. You don't need that for your culture. which is so dumb because I think it's such a cool part of their culture.
No, I know. And it was so cool when that was introduced in season 2. So I was like, oh, they're going to expand on this. And then
Nope.
that didn't happen.
And then jumping on that off of that, because of the mythosaur is written to be a big deal in Mandalorian culture. And
But it wasn't
supposed because the first Mandalorian king or whatever took one down and united everyone, blah blah, all this stuff. I don't remember the details on that. Lord Masters can comment on below and tell me I'm wrong. It's fine.
Yeah. Tell us we're wrong.
Tell us we're wrong because I think it helps.
No, it does.
But the armor just like, they're supposed to be like super. It seems like they're super all about like, oh, in Mandalore we all just didn't take off our hats. Forget that.
Wow, love the voice
It's
change.
so dumb because it's so dumb.
I agree. And it's like he jumped into this like lake thing, and then she was so afraid of him like drowning or whatever, so she's like, let me just go right in, I'll save your dad, like to Grogu.
Go to save your daddy. I'll save your daddy.
Yeah. So she jumps in, and then she's like, okay, we're in the water. Let's see where this goes.
But then you see the mythosaur and you're like, oh
yeah,
shit, she saw
in the
one.
Background. Yeah.
So she mentions this because she's freaked out. She's like, I think I actually saw one. Oh my gosh, because it's been so long. And then Armor was like, sure, okay, dude. Yeah, you saw it. Hell yeah,
you saw something. LOL.
But then like 2 episodes later or something, all of a sudden Bo-Katan did take up leadership and saved a youngling and all that. Cool. Now I believe you. You did see it. You are now like fit to lead. I'm like, they were really just trying to. I feel like they were just trying to give reasons to be like, oh, you've always been his leader. Blah blah. I don't think. I think the whole plot of like her arc just felt very rushed, and it just felt like. It felt like things just happened to work out for her.
No, I agree. It was working out for her a little too well this season.
Yeah. Like, I wish they took more time to like expand on it, and I really do feel like they meant to give her a show.
But they couldn't.
But they couldn't because they wanted to keep the Mandalorian IP going. Mm-hmm. Because I'll jump off into this part because it makes money.
Yes.
Grogu.
Baby Yoda, aka Grogu.
Because season 2, I really feel like they were gonna just keep it where Grogu was supposed to stay with Luke, learn the Force, blah blah, yada yada.
Force, yeah.
And yet here we are, like Grogu's back because of everything that happened in Boba Fett, and Grogu just kind of felt like he was there.
No, yeah, but it was like, but I felt like Grogu was like meant to be, like spotlighted in every episode, like just by himself, if that makes sense.
What do you mean?
Like, because I feel like he overshadowed like the Mandalorian most of the time, especially Grogu's like babbling and shit.
I think everyone overshadowed the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I think so too. In this season, yeah,
he literally took a backseat in his own season.
Yeah,
which is weird because they had to use him for Boba Fett
to tie together Boba Fett.
Yeah,
and in this season, everyone else was overshadowing him, and yeah.
It didn't feel like the whole like he's a badass. He had his moments, but I didn't feel like in the first 2 seasons, it felt like his show because it felt like he was going on an adventure. Like he got Grogu. He's like, okay, let's figure this out.
Yeah.
Okay, season 2. Okay, let's figure this out. Let's get him back.
But this one, it was like, what are we figuring out now?
Yeah. It's like, are we just trying to get Mandalorian back? Or are we trying to get Mandalore back? Okay, I guess there's all these steps to get Mandalore back. Oh, okay.
With the help of other people.
Yeah.
And Grogu was in his teenager years. He was babbling a lot. I think theoretically, everyone's been talking about how Grogu will be able to talk in whatever item that he's going to be in next.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because he's been babbling a lot in this one.
Which is so wild because they said like he's young, but he's actually
old.
Or like or for human lifespan, I think he's old.
Yeah.
I wish I looked back on this. I didn't write this in the notes.
I read an article that Grogu is going to be in the new Star Wars trilogy and that he'll be able to talk. That's what I read.
Did you know? Oh, sidebar. Did you notice how at the end they tried to get his feet working?
Yes.
Instead of like wobbling, he's like his feet
Yes.
were moving. So I think
Yes.
they're moving towards that. Yeah. I think I think I wished he stayed with Luke
A
instead.
little longer.
A little longer.
A little longer.
Because I think I feel like some execs wanted to move him back into the Mandalorian, because I'm pretty sure they were worried about how he would fit in, how Mandalorian would like, just have his own show. But I think this season kind of showed he could have been with other people, but it's a crutch. I think they wrote themselves into that corner of like,
and Grogu makes money. He's
Grogu
cute.
makes money.
He's so cute.
He also costs a lot.
He also costs a lot. Yeah.
Like in production, he costs a lot.
And I remember when Pedro was going around doing like his interview press tour for Mandalorian season 3, he was like, I almost stole Grogu, but he costs millions.
Yes, he's not just a, because actors sometimes take props for themselves.
Yeah,
I think it's cool. I think it's fun.
And I know Pedro wanted Grogu because he's cute, but
Grogu costs so much money with the animation, like the tech in that is insane. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Cost millions. And
millions.
Daddy Pedro probably has millions, but not enough to pay for Grogu.
Yeah. Real quick. I was gonna jump to the planet. I was gonna jump to.
Okay.
I was gonna say I thought that episode. So we'll talk about how I think this episode was a fun one. We could talk about the one I think I really was bad. So this one was the episode where Bo-Katan and the Mando were trying to. Din Djarin was trying to. Yeah. I keep saying Mando, but we know.
Me
it's
too.
Din Djarin.
Yeah.
Because it's just easier. Let's be real. They're trying to get back her fleet. This is before the whole fight thing we're talking about. So they get to this planet, and then they got expedited to like the leadership, who is the king and queen.
And queen of this planet.
Who are they? Veronica?
Lizzo and Jack Black.
Okay, dude, I was watching this and it was like 11 or midnight for me, and I had a double take. I was like, is that them? And I messaged you. Like, I knew you were asleep, but I just had to exclaim that. I'm like, they're in this episode? What the heck?
I know. I think, you messaged me like, it was like 12:30 my time. I was like, yep. Yep, it's them.
You wanted to talk about it, right? What did you?
No, I was surprised about Lizzo and Jack Black. I was like, who are they going to talk to? Like, they're going to be like serious leaders, right? Because they just kind of hopped into this planet. They go into this room and I'm just like, what? Lizzo? And the what's his name? I think his name is like Christopher something, but the Back to the Future actor was in it too. And I was so surprised. I was like, what's going on? But it was good. He was like the computer guy or whatever.
Oh, the head of security. Yeah. Oh my god, why can't I remember his name?
It's like Christopher.
We're bad with names, man.
Yeah, we are. No, but that episode 6 was really fun. And I just thoroughly enjoyed how Jack Black didn't have a script.
Sorry, Christopher Lloyd. Thank you.
Didn't remember the last name.
I was like, Christopher Lloyd. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah, but Jack Black didn't have a script.
I figured.
He literally did it was just improv.
All ad lib.
Yeah, all ad lib.
Jesus.
Yeah. No. I thoroughly 6 was probably a very lighthearted episode and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It felt weird though. Okay, so I liked it for like the whole detective it was cool to see all the separatist droids and they were trying to reprogram them and all that. That's cool. It was cool to see society depending on droid, blah blah, all this stuff. And it was funny to see Din Djarin kick the his thing with droids is just hilarious, right?
It's still
droids. He's like, I hate droids.
He's petty.
And he's so petty. I just thought it was weird that it was episode 6.
It should have been earlier.
But it was like we have 2 more episodes after this. I feel like you just needed to fill in or have cameos for the sake of having cameos at this point. I mean, it was cool to see, but yeah, I think it was weird that it was in episode 6.
I know, it should have been like earlier.
Yeah, like
in
episode
the season.
4 or 5. Let's be real.
Yeah, maybe 3, maybe even 3. Because we could just skip right through 3.
Nice segue to 3.
Because I knew you were about to talk about that.
I was trying to figure out a segue. Episode 3 was the one that literally, okay, first 2 episodes I thought were cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally
Yeah,
get Bo-Katan, get everyone simulate to like the Mandalorians and like that the Enclave there.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, like we pivot over to Coruscant, which I think cool. We got to see Coruscant. We got to see all that stuff going on, which is so cool.
Which is really cool.
But then we focused on the Doctor from season 1.
Yes.
And his whole research was about cloning by the time I got to the end. And it was just like his daily life.
Yeah.
Is he okay?
How he missed his work and...
Which I understand.
his
Train
old
on my
life.
side, by the way.
Yeah.
Look left and right.
Look, yeah. Okay, I'm looking.
It felt like very... And dude, that was the longest episode.
I could not stand it.
That was the longest episode in the
literally could not
entire
stand
season.
it. I know. It was like 52 minutes. Like literally 52 minutes. It was ridiculous.
That was, to me, just a waste of time. Just to prove like the spy was still a spy for Gideon, which I mean, granted, oh, whoa, he's alive. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I mean, I know that was kind of dropped. How like, oh, Gideon never made it, or maybe that was later. But it was just to allude to, hey, Gideon's alive. We have a spy that still works in the network.
Works, yeah.
And this is how they got the cloning research.
Cloning research, yeah, or device or whatever the doctor was trying to do.
And then they wiped his mind.
And we never see him ever again, literally.
Yeah.
For the rest of the season. And same with the woman.
Well, all we needed was for her to tell Gideon. We had to have her tell Gideon.
Yeah.
That the Mandalorians are prepping. We had to have her do that.
You just had to have her do that.
She was important. She was pivotal for that to happen.
Yeah.
Not like anyone else could have done that. Which
Gideon could have just done it by himself.
Oh, but speaking of Gideon, thank you for all these good segues.
Oh my god,
goodness.
you're welcome.
Okay, yeah. In short, episode 3 was so long, unneeded. It felt bad.
It was filtered.
Now Gideon, it was filler. It was filler in the season.
It was.
But I like the whole Lizzo filler way more.
No, that's me too.
I'm also a sucker for like detective stuff, so that was like the whole detective vibe. I thought that was cool. Because like, who did it? The Who Did It episode was great. Gideon. Okay, how'd you feel about how they handled Gideon as apparently the actual main villain in this? Even though for a while we didn't feel like we had a villain in this season.
Poorly, because I couldn't tell that he was the villain, like you said, because he only showed up here and there, like I think 2 scenes in the first half, and then the last half he just came by, like I think fully in like the last episode.
Yeah. Decked out in his armor.
Armor, yeah. It just didn't feel.
This
right?
is the part where I feel
know.
like the gap or the delay for the show affected the plots. I brought it to bring up all those plot points because his whole scheme was to make clones of himself, right? Make clones of himself.
Creepy.
Which I'm like, all right, cool. That's why we
which
had
we
to
saw,
have.
Which Grogu was scared of.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Yeah, me too.
But he was trying to infuse him with the Force.
Yes, like he needed the Force.
I don't think that's possible.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it is.
But that's why I thought they were gonna try to clone maybe Grogu or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is why that initially season 1, that's what it seemed like they were trying to do.
Yeah.
Understand the Force and all that stuff, get the kid, all that. Yeah, I think they've sped up that whole thing because it felt very throwaway. It's like, oh, I made these clones. Now they're dead. I hate you.
And
now.
so is he.
Good.
Is he.
Because apparently he did not believe in Thrawn.
Yeah.
What a tease, dude! That's insane.
I know, it's crazy.
But didn't the Ahsoka trailer drop in the middle of Mandalorian?
Yes,
so
they did.
I don't remember if it happened before or after, because if it happened before, mistimed.
I think it happened after.
Okay, good. Because they mentioned Thrawn, all of them were shit talking Thrawn. I was like, how dare you? This guy's a menace.
I know.
And
Ooh, one more thing.
ooh,
Sorry,
yeah.
before you say
What's
whatever you had to say.
what is it?
The Jar Jar Binks actor
I
was
was gonna pivot to
this.
that.
Okay.
Look
okay.
at you. No, look at you. Segue. King of
Segueing
segues. Queen of
again.
segues today.
I know.
Okay. Go on. No. Sorry. Jar Jar
No,
Binks, the actor.
I was so happy that he got to be in this season.
Yes.
And to like redeem himself as an actor, but also show all the haters that they should have never hated him.
I mean, yeah, Jar Jar Binks is weird. Sure, we get it, but he didn't deserve that amount of hate. I mean, granted, we were little kids.
And it's not the actor.
Yeah, it's not the actor.
And he was very suicidal after
Dude,
that. I was
that's why
like,
it was so
my
sad.
God.
So I agree. I saw him pop up, and I'm like,
yeah.
is this the actor? It's like, I had to pause it, and I searched out.
Yeah,
It
you
is
did.
him.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's so awesome. And he had to have a badass moment being a Jedi, like defending Grogu. He was the last line of defending Grogu. I was like, this is
I
so
was very
cool.
happy. That
Dude, I had
was
chills.
such a cool moment.
Again, it was so cool to see the like Coruscant, the fall, like Order 66. We got to see like the really quick flashbacks from Grogu, but this is fun to finally
Yes.
see like afterwards and keep going and all that,
Yeah.
right?
No, that was a good redemption.
Grogu's having emotional trauma and like just hearing the hammer and all that.
I know. Poor Grogu.
Poor Grogu.
My boy.
See, again, they have some fun things that happened this season. And we can talk about it all in all, but I think overall, it's just fun moments. It didn't feel like it flowed very well plot-wise.
Yeah.
Because, like I mentioned, I didn't feel like Gideon was the bad guy for a
True
while.
villain. Yeah.
It was just a mystery
No,
of where
they
he
were-
was. It felt like he would have been a season 4 villain.
Yeah. They were 2 years too late dropping season 3.
Yeah. Because I'm
The
pretty
hype,
sure most
the hype
of this...
is gone, I think.
Dude, I bet you most of this stuff I would have... Because I think there was a show that was supposed to be a... either Mandalorian or just something Commandos. I can't remember right now. Mention in the comments. But it was something that was canceled, and I think all those factors got pushed into this one.
Oh, okay.
And it
that
became
would
a
make
Mandalor-
sense.
See, but that's why, like, I
would
feel like a
make
lot of these things that happened in the this season was just like plot points that could have been a thing for like
Later on.
or other shows.
Yeah. Okay. No, they dropped this 2 years too late.
Yeah.
Because now I'm not that invested.
No, and let's be real. All of this happened, and now yes, Grogu is his son, is
Yep.
Din Djarin's son.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. That's fine.
They live a happy life now.
They live a happy life, going on
Yeah.
adventures, coming back to a cabin on
Yeah. The Outer Rim, right?
Out of the Rim.
Or something? Yeah.
So weird when you really think
was-
about it overall. It's like,
yeah.
oh, I thought they were trying to focus on getting Mandalore back, or I thought we're trying to stop Gideon from like all this stuff like was
Cloning or
Mandalorian, but then
something,
like
yeah.
it just felt weird and wrong. Like yes, now Mandalorians are back on Mandalore. Sure, that's cool.
It was just not.
All the epic
together
Mandalorian
well.
stuff was so cool. Like when they got together and fought. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
thought the ending was really cool. But plot wise, when you think about it, you're like, okay.
And Grogu using the Force.
Yes.
He was playfully using the Force too throughout the season. He was like, let me. He was just so cute.
But when he finally defended both of them from the explosion, I was like, yeah, that's cool. But I wanted more. I think I wanted more. I think that's what
Me
it was.
too.
That's why I think this was an okay season. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't think it was. I thought it was okay. It was like barely good.
Yeah. No.
Cool moments, but I think overall the payoff was like kind of weird. That's what I
It was
wanna
on the
say.
low point, like low
Yeah.
peak.
Yeah.
It was anticlimactic season.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got.
That's all I got. I don't even know if they have a season 4 coming up.
I don't know. I know they want to like make movies and stuff to end this
Yeah.
off, and I know the Ahsoka show is coming up, and I was told that it's Dave Filoni that's writing it all, so there's a lot of hype for that. So I'm more,
Okay.
I have more faith in that versus what the next
This.
Mandalorian if they
Yeah.
even do one.
Yeah.
So
They wrapped it up nicely, so they can just end it here.
they really could.
Yeah, they can just end
They
it.
really could have ended with season 2.
Yes, they
and
could
had
have.
Mando and had Ninjara cameo and other stuff.
In other shows, yep.
But
And
here we are.
Bo-Katan should have gotten her own show.
This should have been a Bo-Katan show, and I don't
Yep.
know if that's a good or bad thing. It just felt more of a Bo-Katan show with
No,
Mando
it
as a
was.
cameo.
Yep. I literally forgot about Pedro, and I was like, oh, it's a Pedro show.
He pledged allegiance to her too, dude.
Yeah,
so it's like
did.
it's weird.
It was.
And there's a lot more Easter eggs. I think there's one that we might have missed. I think the Zeb cameo was one.
Yeah, that was one too. Yeah.
Yeah. God.
There's a few more that I think I know I missed.
I need to. I didn't write them down, but I knew there was a bunch as they happened, and I wish I wrote it down at that moment.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but if that's all I got, that's all
I got.
Know. Cool. I'm just gonna close it out, but yeah, thanks for tuning in. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook at NgoVo Convo and NgoVo Convo. It's about right above my head. If you're on YouTube, give us like I mentioned throughout the whole episode, give us a comment. Let us know what we missed. I probably like fact check
You
us.
probably missed a lot.
Dude, I like it when people fact check me because it's like, okay, cool. It keeps me accountable. There's like, let us know what I'm wrong, but let me know. Let us know what Easter eggs we miss, what things that if you agree with our points, or were we just having a hate boner? What's going on?
I love having a hate boner.
If you watch our news dumpies, you'll know this.
Yeah.
But yeah, just let us know. It really helps us out. Give us a like if you already did, because that's how you save this episode after watching the episode. Let's keep it that way.
You're probably subscribed already if you're not.
Yeah. If you liked it, if you like this episode, give it a like. If you didn't like it, give it a like.
Agreed.
Do whatever. Really helps out the channel. Let us know how we're doing, what you want to see next, what you want us to play, read, watch, listen.
Play.
We may cover that. Chill.
Oh, wow.
You chill. Other than that, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.